Hello
Nè.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi Thảo.
Hi Duyên. Have you ever traveled or lived abroad?
Unfortunately, I never have an opportunity to live or travel abroad before. But throughout the social media and throughout the press, the news, and especially throughout a lot of video on the YouTube, I can give myself more understanding about the culture of a lot of country in the world.
So how do you feel about the different culture?
Personally, I think that every country have its own unique culture, and this is the reason why in the world there have a lot of culture between the other country and Vietnamese, and I can feel that um, if in the world have a lot of different culture, we can be learned a lot of the new thing. Um, because this is the beauty that people and the country have, and throughout the different between culture we can be learned, we can be exchange the culture, so that is the reason why we can give myself a good culture, and we can realize the bad culture to avoid, I think. And so how about Thảo? Do you have ever lived or travel abroad?
Well, I had an opportunity to went to Singapore 2 years ago. Actually, I went there mainly because my idol concert. So the trip was just last for 4 days. Although it was a short time, I discovered plenty of things which I had never seen before.
So how do you feel about a different culture, and um, did you suffer from the start with?
Well, one of the strangest things I discovered that the cultural of drinking beer in a school instead or in a class. At the time, I was shocked and refused doing that immediately when I had a chance. But then I realized that people are more exciting and the atmosphere more happy. Yes, and people become more talkative. So it means that was their own custom, and I accept that because every country has their own culture, and from that I have consider more clearly about the value of each beauty culture is bring to each country. Yeah. So you have read the passage, right? So
Yes.
can you figure out some similar to or different from between your culture and Australia culture?
Uh, as described in the passage, firstly, I think Australian is emphasize independent and personal choice, but while the rest Vietnamese person it doesn't have a personal choice. The almost younger Vietnamese, they also follow the crowd, also follow the trend, and they don't have a personal choice. Besides that, unlike Australian teacher, Vietnamese teacher will also point out a student what to do, and point out a student what they shouldn't do. And beside that, the Vietnamese education don't place a value on independent and personal choice. So that's the Vietnamese. I think Vietnamese student. I think they don't discover the self study, and I think this is the bigger difference between Vietnam and Australian, I think. So Thảo, you said that you went to Singapore before,
Yeah.
right? So can you tell me about the situation that you use English to communication with a foreigner?
Oh, sure. Well, actually, I have learned English for 7 years, but I haven't had plenty of chance to speak to a native speaker because I live in a Green City that not that place a high value on heavy industry, so it's not a tourist destination, so it's too hard to see a foreigner here. So I remember vividly when I went to Singapore. I met my aunt friend. He was a French, but he speak English. We had a dinner together, and then we decided to hanging out to take a walk, and we stopped by a Vietnamese food store, you know. So we stopped by there and eat something again. So suddenly my aunt friend, he came to me and asked for the name of the food he was eating. My brain was like, stop working for 10 seconds to try to find out the word great food, but I couldn't, but I felt. So I trying to explain the name that there was a kind of dessert, and it was include coconut milk or green beer, and suddenly the word online dictionary just came to my mind, and I quickly searched it on my phone and told him there was pomelo sweet soup. He was smiling and nodding and gave me a thumbs up signal. I felt a little embarrassed and confused, but I guess more motivation to study English, to improve my listening and speaking skill too. I believe that the more I practice, the more similar I get. So I believe that one day I can talk confidently with a foreigner, whatever the topic of competency is.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
If I have a chance to travel abroad, yes, once I will learn and have an experience, right?
Yeah, I hope you got it.
Yeah, thank you.